But now also we've tapped into every other facet of telecom technology, like cell phones. I mean, all of you have heard of the three carriers that we're doing business with. You've heard of Sprint. You've heard of T-Mobile. You've heard of Verizon. Well, we're doing business with all three of those. And we're able to give people a better deal for the actual phone that they purchase. Not only that, but we have home security systems, high-speed internet, merchant processing, satellite TV through Dish Network and DirecTV, a new service called Text Alert. And you'll learn about what all of these, you'll learn about all of these different services that we have. So, but the bottom line is when you think about how do we make our money, let's break that down. It's two things that we do. Number one is we're showing people how they can save money on services they're already using. So in other words, that first thing we're doing is acquiring customers, getting people to utilize our services. That's what you'll be doing as an independent representative. The other thing we do, and we'll teach you how to do it, is to build a team of people, build a network, be in a position where you're making money when other people that you don't even know are paying their bills. And that happens because when you got business partners in your organization, guess what they're doing, folks? They're signing up their own family members, their own friends, their own co-workers. They're getting these people to use the services. And because they are in your network, you get an overriding commission on the services that they sign up. So one of the reasons that tens of thousands of people that are in my organization have all gotten customers, it's yielding a pretty significant income that's put me in a position where I haven't had to work a job for about 11 and a half years. So I want you to get that. This is powerful. Well, 14 years actually. Yeah, 14 years. And so it's been a phenomenal ride when it comes to what this can yield. Now, look at this screen right now. It breaks down the two things that we do. Now, here's a couple of goals that we are going to set for you. When you go out and get your first 20 customer points, and I'm telling you, you got 30 days to do it. I believe you can do it in 30 minutes if you really, really sit down and get it done. But you go out and you get your 20 customer points, and if you do it within 30 days of your start date, you get a $500 bonus. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's not that difficult. I know 20 people that would love to save money on a bill they're already having to pay for every month. Well, yeah, that would be a true statement. But what I'm sharing is even easier than that, because I'm not talking about you having to go get 20 people. I'm saying 20 services. So guess what? Guess who should be your first and your best and your most loyal customer? That should be yourself. So if you were to look at all these services on the screen and just decide that you're going to sign up on these things yourself, you can end up with pretty much hitting half of the goal out of your own home. So if 20 is the overall goal, we know everybody can do it. So now that's $500. Then if you get at least your 2 business partners in within that same first 30 days and you get them their qualifying customers that help them do that, you'll get another $250. So if you stop right there and think about this, that is $750 that you've earned in your first 30 days or less, and you're just getting started. Now, I'm not saying that $750 is a whole lot of money, but I am saying to make that in your first 30 days when it's probably fair to say that you're still learning. You don't fully understand everything at that point, but that's a powerful position to be in, to make close to $1,000 and you're still learning. So here's the thing. Although that's a decent bonus, let's talk about the big money. Let's talk about what you can really build long term for your family. Now, remember the 2 things we do. We're getting business partners, we're getting customers. Then we teach those business partners of ours how to get their own partners and customers. So, for example, let's just say you found at least 3 people that would love to get involved in this. They don't have to live in your city, your state. They can be anywhere that we do business. So if you get 3 people involved, now this is just an example. Here's the good news. You don't have a limit to how many people you can get in the business. But let's say you get at least 3 and you stopped right there for some reason. Well, if those 3 duplicated your efforts and got their own 3, how many of you realize it turns into 9? Well, what if the 9 go get 3? Well, now it's 27 more. What if they get 3? 81 more, 243, 729. It starts getting bigger and bigger and deeper as it goes. I mean, bigger and bigger the deeper it goes down. So you can end up with thousands of people in your network, and you're just talking to different people. Now, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm not even sure if this young lady is on the phone, but I want to use her as an example just because she's doing a phenomenal job, and I'm not even sure if she realizes how well she's doing this soon in the game. But she's just recently gotten started in our business in less than 30 days. She's out in Las Vegas, a young lady named Diane Pollard, and she's been in for less than 30 days. But already today, on the book, she's got 20 business partners, and she's already at the 3rd earned position in our team, in our company, and just doing a phenomenal job. Now, this is a young lady that is already very successful. She and her husband, they do very, very well in their own right. And so this was something that she saw as a value because of the way this money gets paid out on a residual basis. So let me give you an example. I talked about the fact that she's got 20 people in her team in less than 30 days. Let's talk about this. Let's just say it took you longer than 30 days. Let's say it took you 60 days, whatever it is. You wind up with 20 people on your team. Now, this is an example. Now, think about this. Those 20 people are going to all go out and sign their own services up. So guess what we're going to teach them to do? We're going to teach them to set a goal of getting their 20 customers. That's the goal for everybody, at least minimally 20 customers out of the gate. I say 25, but hey, listen, let's just say you get 20. Well, if everybody's getting their 20 customers, that's 400 customers right there, because 20 business partners with 20 customers, 400 customers. Now, what if you were making something as small as 50 cents on those customers? You realize that this example alone will still pay you $200 every month? Now, that's if they're all getting their services and you're earning about 50 cents on each of those. Well, here's the deal. If you can generate a couple $100 with 20 people in your team, why would you stop at 20? What if instead of stopping, you built an organization of 200 people and they got their 20 customers? If you still earn that same 50 cents, do you realize that's paying a couple $1,000s a month now? So I want you to get this, family. Look, you're making a couple grand just because your organization began to take on a life of its own. And I can tell you right now, there are many of us in this company that are making a whole lot more than that. You can move that comma over to the right and add another 0 on the number and increase that number to a bigger number. And so that's hitting our bank accounts on a monthly basis regardless of what we do. Everything that we do now just increases that amount. And so I want you to get that. There are no limitations and everybody can do it. And so this is one aspect of how we get paid, which is the residual aspect. Well, you can also start to make money as you build your team. So every time a new person comes in, depending on what position you hold in our company, a bonus is paid out the following week just because someone joined your team. Now, these are people that in many cases and in most cases, you're not even introducing the business to them yourself. Of course, you're going to do that, but then they're going to do the same thing, which means you're going to always have more people coming in your organization that you don't know versus the amount of people that you do know, because this will take on a life of its own. And you start making bonuses when they get in and get their qualifying customers. And notice on the top of these blocks, as you move to the right side of the compensation, the numbers get bigger for pretty much doing the same thing. But when you get to those top positions like